In this video, we're going to look at transitive and intransitive verbs. So what are transitive and intransitive verbs? Well, a transitive verb is one that can take a direct object. In other words, the action of a transitive verb is done to someone or something. An intransitive verb is a verb that does not take a direct object. In other words, it's not done to someone or something. It only involves the subject. So here are some simple examples of transitive verbs. Lee eats pies. So you can eat something. So eat is a transitive verb. Lee loves mince pies. You can love something. So love is a transitive verb. Lee bought dozens of cakes. You can buy something. So buy is a transitive verb. Here are some simple examples of intransitive verbs. He fainted. You can't faint something. A vulture soared effortlessly overhead. You can't soar something. You can't say the vulture soared the air, for example. Remember, intransitive verbs just involve an action with the subject. So here's something to be aware of. Look at the first example. The sharks are congregating near the raft. So this is an example of an intransitive verb. The sharks aren't actually congregating anything. They're just congregating themselves. So the action only involves the subject, the sharks. It's an intransitive verb. But now look at this example. The whales are congregating the seals. This time they are congregating something. They're congregating the seals. They're gathering them together. So some verbs, and we'll cover these later, can be transitive or intransitive. Just bear that in mind for now. Okay, let's carry on with some examples. The way to find out whether a verb is transitive or intransitive is to find the verb and ask what or whom. So here's a real life example. No amount of time can erase the memory of a good cat, and no amount of masking tape can ever totally remove his fur from your couch. So, let's find the verb. So this sentence has two verbs. The first one is erase. Ask what or whom. Erase what? Erase the memory of a good cat. So, it's taken a direct object. That's called the direct object. And if it has a direct object, it must be a transitive verb. Let's look at the next verb. Remove. Remove what? His fur. Again, it's the direct object, so this must be a transitive verb. And yes, erase and remove are both transitive verbs. They've taken direct objects. Here's another example. You can't get 8 cats to pull a sled through snow. Let's find the verb, which is can't get. Let's ask what, can't get what? Well, 8 cats to pull a sled through snow. So that's the direct object, making get a transitive verb, which it is. Okay, here's a list of common intransitive verbs. Remember, these are the ones that don't take a direct object. So if you ask what or whom, it won't make sense. So just look at the first couple. To arrive. Lee arrived late again. So he didn't arrive something. He didn't arrive somebody. That makes it an intransitive verb. Okay, here are some more. Just pause this if you need to have a look at them. Here's a list of common verbs that can be transitive or intransitive. Remember our example from the beginning where we had the whales congregating the seals and we had the sharks congregating near the raft. So some verbs can be both, and here are some common ones. Just pause these if you want to have a look at them. So let's quickly have a look at one. To play. She will play the hornpipe. She will play what? The hornpipe. The hornpipe becomes the direct object. So here, to play is transitive because it's been done to something. She will play tonight. She will play what? Well, this time we don't have an answer. She's not going to play anything. She's just going to play tonight. She's going to do a performance tonight. She's not going to play anything. There's no direct object. Here it's intransitive. The only thing that's doing anything is she. the subject. It only involves the subject. It's intransitive. Why should you care about intransitive verbs? Well, the first thing to say, this is really good stuff for learning a foreign language. When you come to learn a foreign language, especially if you learn it out of a book and not off the streets, you will very quickly come across the term transitive and intransitive verbs. And understanding what these are in English is a great starting point for knowing how to use them in a different language. There is one issue to be careful of. Be careful with the verbs to win and to learn. For example, if you say, I won George, this would be wrong if you beat George in a game, for example. But if George were a prize, like a goldfish called George, for example, then you can say, I won George. The other one to look out for is to learn. He will learn you some manners. No, you can't use learn like that. You have to use teach. So this should be, he will teach you some manners. Ha! I won you at chess. That'll learn you. No, you can't say that. You have to say, ha! I beat you at chess. That'll teach you. Here's a quick summary. A transitive verb is a verb that can take a direct object. You can find the direct object by asking what or whom after you've found the verb. In other words, it's done to someone or something. An intransitive verb is a verb that does not take a direct object. In other words, it isn't done to someone or something. It just involves the subject itself. Remember, this is useful stuff for learning a foreign language. In English, if you're a native English speaker, you probably do this stuff naturally. Thanks for watching, and be sure to check out some of our other videos on Grammar Monster. We're also on Twitter and Facebook.